Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the OK Grognard Show. It's Friday, August 14th, 2020, 9:30 a.m. Central in beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Well, we're almost done our series on the Cooperative Dungeon collection because this is the fourth of four. This is the lowest level one at third level. So we started off doing I think a 14th level, and then it was the 7th, 5th, and now 3rd. This one, obviously, because of its lower level, is probably one of the more accessible of the cooperative dungeons. Once again, it's got this one's a 48-pager, double, so there's lots of content in here. Let's have a look at the Maparuski, which are always there in the first page. I'm going to rotate this clockwise so it can be shown off. We'll put it back when we're done. So what do we got here? 21 interior locations. 20 interior locations. For the first location is outside. Morning, Ink Dweller 8. How you doing? It is a quasi-Egyptian. It makes use quasi-Egyptian location, quasi-ancient Egyptian, I should say, right? Makes use of the idea of a tomb as a, tomb raiding as a thing. Here, I'll just point out some stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of bits and bobs in here, including sarcophagi. There are barracks and a main barracks. Look at that, double bed. Boy, you want to be in charge of this guard. What's the word I'm looking for? Outpost? No, that ain't the right word. Throw me a word. Neutral Good Books. How you doing? Want to be in charge of this detachment, of this group, of this bunch of guards, of this assignment. We go all over the place. None of those is the word I'm trying to think of. Bunch more sarcophagi over here in what appears to be a library, right? We got some cabinets and a table and stuff. Maybe not a library. More cabinets over here. There's a storeroom, right? Bunch of chairs. Looks like a waiting room, huh? 11 is empty. Secret door. Ooh, as I recall, this hallway had something cool going on, and I'll get back to that. There's the library. Those are library things. In fact, it says down here, right? Toth Nekamex Library. 2 big rooms. There you go. 145. No, that's 14.5. And that's 14. And that's a thing, and that's a thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is already coming back to me. The Howling Winds, the Knoll Tunnel disaster. Lost Nomad. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. I've got the others on the list. I'm going to have to throw you on the list here, Mark. Let's see. There you go. Are y'all gearing up for early November for Gamehole Con, or is it far enough away that you're still not there yet, huh? Maybe I should take this cooperative dungeon and make a Roll20 adventure out of it. It would be useful for me to gain skills, talents, whatever, when it comes to setting up a Roll20 adventure with all the fog of war and dynamic lighting and all of that stuff, but also I could then put this up over there for free. I can distribute it as Creative Mountain Games anywhere I want, provided it's free. There's no reason I couldn't set it up also as a virtual tabletop adventure with the ups and extras that come with that. This might be a good project for me, he said, knowing he has 1,000 projects on the back burner. What do I care, right? It'd be fun. It'd be good. Lexfire, hey, how's it going? Yeah, this is Cooperative Dungeon 4, Tomb of Chaos. This looks pretty nifty. Looks like a bunch of statues in there. We'll get back to that. The Hall of Celebrants. More sarcophagi. 17. Transgressor's Tomb. Ooh. Someone's been naughty. The Crypt of Aris is 16. 15 is the Atrium of the Royal Steed. Secret door on the far side. Secret door to get in here. This is at the end of a hallway. Invariably, you're not really hiding this door from this side, right? Obviously, there's nowhere else in or out from that side. But if someone were to teleport in, somehow figured out where this place was, tunneled in from outside, and then was looking for a way out, this would not be very hidden, right? Because it's at the end of a hallway. However, from this side, it's just in a corner on a wall. So, too, this is on a longer wall, and although it butts up against the opposite, it is on the opposite side of this hallway, which runs into this hallway. That doesn't mean you would expect to find a secret door there necessarily. Anyway, we got all that going on. So this is kind of like the early level, and then this is kind of like the additional level, even though you can get right there from outside, right? But this is the hidden stuff back here. And we got a number of traps in here too. So I'm going to zip this back over, rotate it back to the counterclockwise, and switch the page. We'll go down, check out that table of contents. How do you like those borders? Huh? Quasi-Egyptian all over the place, right? I think those were snagged from some public domain stuff. Probably Dover Archive stuff. If you're ever looking for crazy freebies. 1001 now. 1001 now. I must have asked a question. I must have asked a question whose answer was 1001 now, but I don't remember the question that I would have asked. You'll have to give me more than that. I've lost track in my babbling. Pardon me. So let's pop down here. Well, let's have a quick look here. We got the vigil, we got the burial chambers, we have an appendix at the back. Leagues, 1001 leagues. 1001 Dalmatians. It's a sequel with a cast of 1,000. Anyway, so this is like an adventure and a half, right? If a 30-page adventure holds the 14 standard number of encounters per 3E design, 3.5E design, and that first one was twice as many, 28, and also was 60 pages. There's some stuff that overlaps. If you got a 32-page regular adventure. That's kind of like the standard size, or was. Projects. Oh, the projects. Of course, I have 1,001 projects. I do, too. I really do. There's always, and I mean, we probably all have little notepads or digital of the same where we just throw down ideas when they come to us from time to time. We may never get back to them. When we're bored, we may read down the list and see if something pops and start fleshing it out. Your old school zine, yeah, no doubt, that's still in the works. I'm waiting to see what goes on with the unemployment situation and with the store to some degree before I can finish up some of those things, because kind of in limbo. Making money, even if I sold something for next to nothing and just made a little bit, it would be really awkward. I could put something out for free. That would be an idea. But it would have to be something that didn't require too much work. I hate to... It's tough, You feel like once you put yourself in business, even if it's just a sort of a hobby business, you feel like if you're going to put any serious effort into a project, that there should be some return on it for you to justify having taken the time to do it. It's maybe that's stinking thinking, but what's the old saw about you? You run into somebody on the street. What do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a comedian. Hey, tell me a joke. Says, well, what do you do for a living? Says, I'm an accountant. Says, oh, well, do my taxes. It's like, once you've taken on the mantle of being a professional or a semi-professional in some field, it's hard to casually do something. But there are things that could be done. Obviously, the Cooperative Dungeons, which were team efforts, these aren't just, I didn't work on these alone. In fact, if there were 20 people on one of these, then I did 5%, maybe a little more. Layout was pretty busy, but took a lot of time, more than it took work, really, But they turned out pretty nice. Anyway, that's the table of contents. Let's move along before I ruminate too far. René Mongrand? No idea if I'm pronouncing that right. I've only ever seen it in writing and never actually spoken to him, because Skype was barely a thing back in 2004, 2005 when we worked on this, let alone other forms of communication. We didn't exchange phone numbers. He was in Canada, French Canadian, if I'm recalling correctly. But look at this. We've got Ben Buckner back again, Chad Barr, Chris Cumming, Patrick de Hasselier, Alexander P.Y. Fitzhugh, Daryl Gubler, Lance Hewitt, Chris Holson, H.R. McGlone, Connor Seitz Bowen, Craig Stone, Brian Thompson, Ben Tiefenbach, Adrian Traxler, Shannon Truster, and Renee, and myself. Cover illustration, Aaron Colo. Erica Wagner, once again, back again, working on it, doing adventure hooks and part of the editing team, along with Steve Lehman and Merrick Spielman. Ben Buckner, lead editor and a contributor. So there you go. Where's my name? Oh, layout and design. Okay. Yay. Anywho, forward, welcome to the fourth adventure. Renee goes on to talk about how much fun they are. So true. 3 new editors. Gives a shout out. Some of the people that are back. Introduction DM only. The Tomb of Chaos was originally the tomb. You know what? Let's do this. Let's bigify this. Still a word. The Tomb of Chaos was originally the tomb of the ancient king Toth-Nechamek, lord of a quasi-Egyptian realm who lived several thousand years earlier. The outer, obvious section appears to be an abandoned temple of the jackal god Chakal, with the crypts of some minor dignitaries. The actual tomb of Toth-Nechamek is concealed behind this temple. In the last few weeks, a Null clan worshippers of the up-and-coming demon lord Haruk have set up house here and have been ransacking the temple in search of the tomb and whatever loot there is to be had. Being rather unintelligent, they haven't had much success in finding the entrance to the tomb and have resorted to leasing a rather expensive trained dire badger to dig through the back walls of the temple. This plan proved unwise after the badger ran amok, killing several of the gnolls, including its druid handler. Unknown to the gnolls, the badger was driven mad by the corruptive influence of the inner tomb, which is now home to the demon Chaos, hence Tomb of Chaos. The warped remnant of Toth-Nechamek's evil soul. Chaos has returned from the abyss to attempt to gather power for himself and further his ambitions toward higher, demonic, and even divine status. Sandwiched between the demon-worshipping gnolls and this abyssal upstart lie the secrets and treasures of a forgotten empire, along with their vigilant guardians. Oh, baby! Now that, if that doesn't get you going, and this is just a third-level adventure, it's all about tomb robbing, and that is classic D&D. So yeah, there you go. Plot hooks. Erica came up with a bunch of these. I won't dip into them too much, but let's just show they include about a half page apiece. There's a couple. There's a third one. So they're all very fleshed out with NPCs and or other stats as needed. Pretty extensive. There's some box text to read if you are into reading box text. I am, but I tend to be able to read pretty well, like it's off the cuff if I want to, especially if I've read something recently or before at all. So it doesn't feel too stock, if you will. But I know some people that don't read well in front of others. They might be the best readers in the world, but aloud it's difficult. So, you know, these are the kind of things you read through this on your own. And as a tip to running adventures like this, read through it on your own and just underline one or two pieces of it that you feel are the most important things to disseminate. And then just make sure you mention those things instead of reading the box text. I mean, it doesn't have to be read. I personally like reading them. Outside the tomb, look at that. A face only a tomb robber could love. So that's the out of doors thing, right? There we go. The eyes of the jackal statues. A magnificent stone structure protrudes from the mountainside. It is decorated with relief sculptures of half-man, half-animal creatures. To the left and right of the doors are 14-foot-tall stone statues of naked men with jackal heads. To your right, you see a pile of rock and dirt debris. You hear birds chirping from the trees north of you. Okay. So as with all of these, it's easy enough to bust them out, right? So that you can blow up this and print it out if you wanted to and have it as a battle map if you needed it, right? Further down, use this graphic to keep track of the gems stolen from the above entryway. So there's all of these, that line of statues to the right and left of the door. And these, I think the eyes are gems. So they could be stolen. They're not super expensive, but if you're going to start stealing something, start at the entrance. Inside, room 2, Shannon Troster contributed this one. Entry hall of the Jackal. Lovely. Always fun when you've got a couple of statues that are doing things. Look at this. Transitional. Suggestive. Kind of a Ricky Gervais moment there. Statues. The statues each have the same type of lapis lazuli eyes that the exterior statues possessed. One of the eyes is missing from the statue on the left. What should we do? Crates, packs, and bags. There's the shrine. Now to Haruk, because the Knolls have taken over this area, right? Knoll Barracks. The small bedroom. Nice. Elite Knoll Barracks. These guys are tougher. Don't forget, in 3rd edition, everything was scalable. Male Knoll Fighter. Boom. 2d8 plus 2 plus 1d10 plus 1. Total of 20 hit points. That's a tough Knoll. Standard Knolls. Okay, there's your stat block. Magnix the Cook. Male Knoll Warrior 1. No expert in cooking? Okay. Nazgra, female Knoll. Druid. She the one that brought the badger in? I think so. Here we go with a... Oh, wait, room 8. Okay. Canobic jars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more sarcophagi. More. This is the first ones we're seeing so far, right? Cleric of Ruck, Mel Knoll, Ranger 1, Cleric 2. 2d8 plus 2 plus 1d8 plus 1 plus 2d8 plus 2, 27. Spells prepared. 4/3 plus 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 level. 1, 2, 3, 4. First level Chaos Domain, so spells plus 1. Oh, Chaos spells at plus 1 per caster level. Destruction Domain. Gets Smite once a day as a benefit of being a destruction cleric. Yeah, a little spot art. Some more. Crypt of the Exalted Ones. Uh-oh. They're chiseling. Hall of Final Justice. Yep. Don't want to get called on the carpet in there. Nice. There's a trap. Disturbing the Cutlass. Springs a weight-sensitive trap, dropping multiple bricks from the ceiling onto anything in either the chair's square or the square immediately to the west. That's 3. Okay, so each of them have a symbol, and the cutlass is the 3rd one, and that one has the falling block trap. Crown, crossbow, coins. I always love that the people that brought their A game to these cooperative dungeon experiences Um, put a lot of thought and detail, not just into how things would work mechanically, but how they would appear. So there's always a lot of symbology involved and a lot of flavor, narrative, colorful, descriptive text on top of a strong mechanical basis for the traps and the creatures and everything involved. A, a swervnebling. Never pronounced that right. Swervnebling. Don't even know if I'm close. Tough, tough, tough. Tomb of the Magus. Toth-Nekamex Library. Nice. Features Dagger of Lost Souls. That sounds troubling. A male white. Okay, the Irritable White. There's a book in the library that is used to teach initiates the hieroglyphic script used in the tomb. A useful thing to throw in there. Give people a chance to be able to read all the other hieroglyphics around the place, including this riddle. Gives you knowledge of what's going on in the place. The librarian is a doppelganger. Oop. Spoiler alert. That's pretty cool, though. I like using doppelgangers. I've got to admit that rarely a campaign goes by that I don't find a way to squeeze in a doppelganger. Look at this nifty little offbeat bit of layout here. Right? So it can accommodate the map. Not bad. Clever. He said, patting himself on the back. The Howling Winds. This is another tricky little trap. And that's the thing about tombs, right? You're going to find a lot of traps. Scything Blade Trap. Statue animates. Granite. Ring of the Ram. Because it's a ram's head statue animated object, so it's literally a ramming juggernaut that will come 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100-foot long hallway, and it is going to wait until you get halfway down so you can't avoid it, and then just ram into you like a big old ram's head on the side of a mountain. The DM is always right with the pronunciations. Thank you, Lexfire. Why not, right? We'll make that call every time. And there we go. Tell you what, we're on page 32. I'm going to leave it here. You guys can grab this. It's free. It's on DriveThruRPG. If you haven't already picked up the Cooperative Dungeon collection, then another tomb, you should pick it up. Figurines, ceramic ram, alabaster cat, sandstone hippo, golden amulet of inescapable location, that's trouble, golden bracers of defenselessness, leather gloves of fumbling. What's with all the golden weight lodestone? That's spelled wrong. Oh, that's because it's that pun, load, yeah. Powerlessness, clumsiness. These are just a whole pile of cursed items. So this is the fake tomb where you pick up all the crap. Anywho, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to say pick it up. It's free. If you haven't already, read through it. If nothing else, cherry pick some of the traps and items out of this thing for your own games if you like. There's plenty enough going on in here, though, even for a third level adventure, that you probably get 3 or 4 sessions out of it. I would suggest appendix with all the breakdown of the creatures and stuff, so you can just print those off and have them separately. The Knoll, a timetable for when they're keeping watches and who's hunting and who's off guarding, who's doing the guarding, who's patrolling, who's dead. Oops. And of course, what fun would this be without popping down into here? Cooperative Dungeon 4 character portraits again from Mongoose, and that's pretty much the whole of the adventure. Cooperative Dungeon 4, Tomb of Chaos. Thanks so much, by the way, everybody, for swinging by today. Don't forget, tomorrow, GM reviews. We're going to look at something. Rules retrospective on Sunday. Weekly news and announcements on Monday. Cartography and world building on Tuesday. Wednesday is campaign discussion. GM tips on Thursday. Bringing us back around to building adventures again on Friday. We'll have to start fresh with something totally new next Friday. What will it be? We'll figure it out. I do want to say once again, thanks to everybody for following the Twitch channel. And if you are following and you haven't already, always chime in on the chat stream because we throw you on a list. We do a giveaway once a week. There's no purchase necessary. The only reason we ask you to chime in on the chat stream is because that way we know you're not a bot, so we can add your name to the list. We don't have to chase you all over the place and find out later that we were chasing a bot to give them something nice. Still can do it tomorrow for this week. This is week 20. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that friggin' crazy? If you're catching up with this on YouTube, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. Also, make a comment. Give us some constructive criticism. We're always happy to get some help making the show a little bit better. As you can see, the green screen's starting to get a little better. I'm starting to dial in the lighting. And we'll make that even better yet as we go. We're going to work on the sound, too. I've got this mic. I got to spend some time with it. Figure out how to dial it in so it's not picking up noise from the street every time somebody drives by in a car. So I've got to experiment. We'll get there. This is show 154, 155, something like that. We're getting up there. 155. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great day. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Tomorrow or any day, because we'll just keep doing these. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.